Welcome students. Welcome to the lecture number 6 of chapter computer networks. Okay. So in the today lecture we are going to discuss about the transmission medium, right? So what is basically the transmission medium? We can say that a medium which is used to transmit data from one side to another side or from one point to another point, that is called as the transmission medium, right? So over here the definition of transmission medium is a transmission medium is one which carries a signal, right? A signal from one computer to another computer. So basically a transmission medium is basically a carrier which carries a signal from one computer to another computer, and in networking terms it is also known as communication channel. Okay, so how many transmission medium we have? So when we see that about the transmission medium, you can see the transmission media is basically transmission media or communication medium is basically divided into two categories. The first one is the guided and other one is the unguided. Guided basically in which the wires are used for connecting two devices, that is basically the guided, and where the wires are not used, the wireless means of connecting two devices is basically unguided. So under guided means we are going to learn about twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, optical fiber cable, and under unguided wireless technology we have to learn about radio waves, microwaves, infrared waves. So these types of communication mediums we have to cover in today's lecture. Okay, so first we move on to the wired transmission media. When we talk about wired transmission media, so in that case the first thing that comes is basically what is basically the wired transmission media. The wired or guided, right, transmission media physically connects two computers. Okay, so what is the basic thing that we have to learn? That this wired means it basically physically connects two systems through the wire means. Okay, so once the two systems are connected with the help of the wire, the data signal physically get transmitted from the transmitting computer to the receiving computer. So obviously when two computers are connected to each other by means of wire, then the signal travel through the wire, okay, from one computer to the another computer. So you can see that the data signal physically get transferred from the transmitting computer, okay, from the transmitting computer to the receiving computer through the wired transmission medium. Okay, so you can see that the data basically moves from from the transmitting computer to the receiving computer, and this transmission is taken place with the help of the wired transmission media, right? So some wired transmission medias are twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, and the third one is the optical fiber cable. So basically we have to discuss about these cables. So let's start with the twisted pair cable first. Okay, so what is basically a twisted pair cable? So you can see that this is basically the image of the twisted pair cable. Over here if you watch carefully, then you can see that there are 1, 2, right, 3 and 4 pairs of wires in which two wires are twisted with each other, right? So basically this is the basic idea behind the twisted pair cable, and I think that you have seen this type of cables in your computer lab. Okay, so you can see that inside it basically these are basically RJ45 connectors, right? So this is the RJ45 connector, and these twisted pair cables are fixed with this RJ45 connector at both ends of the cable, and then the with the help of this RJ45 connector, the connection between two systems will be completed, right? So over here, what are the points about the twisted pair cable? The first is that it consists of two insulated wires arranged in a regular spiral pattern. Okay, so in this case you can see that if you see this diagram over here, there are two wires, okay, and these two wires are basically twisted with each other, right? It is generally used for telephone communication in offices and also in modern Ethernet network. So these kind of cable is this also used for the telephone services, right? You remember that in the earlier ages we have landline phone with us, right? I think right now there is no very less landline phones are available, but those landline phones basically use this twisted pair cable for the connection, right? And nowadays the twisted pair cable is used for setting the network also. So the twisting of the wire, first the question arises that why these wires are twisted with each other, right? So there are some specific reasons for it. So what are those reasons? The twisting of wires is basically used to, first thing is to reduce the crosstalk. Now what is basically the crosstalk? Which is the bleeding of a signal from one wire to another, right? So bleeding of a signal means a signal leaks from one cable to the another cable, that is called as the crosstalk. So this twisting is performed in order to reduce the crosstalk. So if the crosstalk occurs, then this crosstalk can corrupt the signal, right? Because if the signal bleeds from or leaks from one wire, then obviously the correct data will not be received by the receiving station and hence cause the network error. So first, why this twisting is done? First, the reason is that it is used to reduce the crosstalk, right? And the second thing is that it protects the signal from external interference, right? Suppose which affects both wire and also creates unwanted signals. So you know that in our daily life there are very devices like electrical devices, magnetic devices, electromagnetic devices. So basically these devices send some signal. So sometimes the wire signals get affected by these signals, right? So in order to protect the twisted pair cable from the interference of these kinds of electromagnetic signals, we basically do the twisting work. So the what are the reasons for twisting the wire? The first one is to reduce the crosstalk, and second one is to protect the signal from external interference. Okay, so the first thing that I told you that why we use this twisting, the reason is that the twisting reduces the crosstalk, and the second, it protects the signal from external interference. Okay, so this thing you have to remember that why we perform the twisting in case of twisted pair cable, right? And there are two types of twisted pair cables. Okay, we have two categories of twisted pair cable. One is the shielded twisted pair cable, in short we call it as STP, and another one is the unshielded twisted pair, in short we called UTP. So you can see that over here there is a image of both UTP, that is unshielded twisted pair cable, as well as STP, that is twisted pair cable, shielded twisted pair cable. So the basic difference is that in case of STP, more shielding is done for the cables, right? So that's why STP is costly than UTP, right? But generally we mainly prefer this UTP cable. Okay, and as I told you that UTP cable, this twisted pair cable is used for telephone lines as well as for establishing the connection. Okay, so UTP cable category 5, okay, there is one version of it, that is Cat 5. So Cat 5 cable is basically used for setting the network right now nowadays. Okay, so these are the points regarding the twisted pair cable. Now the next type of cable is basically coaxial cables, right? So these are some images of the coaxial cable. You can see that this type of cable you have seen with the cable TV operators, right? So basically they use these kind of cables for that is, and this cable is basically called as the coaxial cable, right? So what are the points related to this coaxial cable? The first one is that it consists of a solid wire core. Okay, so solid wire core, you can see that at this end, at the center there is a, this is the solid wire core. Okay, over here you can see that this is a core. Okay, so it consists of a solid wire core surrounded by one or more foil or wire shields, which separated by some kind of plastic insulator. Okay, so you can see that this is a wire mesh. Okay, right, or we can say that it is a wire shield, and this is basically the insulations. So each separate, so you can see that as it is written that the coaxial cable consists of solid wire cores surrounded by one or more foil, these are the mesh foils or wire shields, each separated by some kind of plastic insulator. So you can see that between this wire mesh there are some insulators, right? This is for insulation, this is for insulation. Okay, the inner core carries the signal. So this inner core, this one, right, and this one in this diagram, so these inner core basically carries the signal, and it has a high electrical properties and suitable for high speed communication. So as it is a high electrical property, so it is best suitable for the high speed communication also. Okay, you have seen many cable TV operators, right? So these cable TV operator basically use this kind of cables for setting their cable TV network. Okay, or over here it is also written that it is widely used for television signals and also by large corporation in building, okay, for security systems. So this kind of cable is basically used by the cable TV operator for sending the signals for the televisions. Okay, and these cables are also used in the big organization for enhancing their security systems. Okay, so the coaxial cable is the second type of the wired transmission medium that we are using nowadays. Okay, and the third one is coaxial cable types. Okay, so we have seen that what is a coaxial cable. Okay, so there are two types of coaxial cable available in the market. Okay, and the two most common type of coaxial cables are, first one is basically the thick net and other one is the basically thin net. Okay, so what is basic the difference between these two types of cable? So first we tell about the thick net. Okay, so the thick net is the thicker. Okay, so it is a very thicker cable, and its cable segment can be up to 500 meter long. What does it mean, 500 meters long? It means the coaxial cable send a data from one point to another point up to the distance of 500 meter. Okay, up to the distance of 500 meter, and if we want to send data beyond 500 meter, then at the end of the 500 meter we have to set some booster kind of device. Okay, so the one category is thick net and the other category is basically the thin net. Okay, is the thinner, and it can have a maximum segment length of 185 meter. So you can see that what is the basic difference between the thick net and the thin net coaxial cable. If we use the thin net coaxial cable, then we can transmit our data from one point to another point up to 185 meter. Okay, so the maximum length the data covers through this wire is basically 185 meter. That's it. And if our destination is beyond 185 meter, then obviously we have to put some booster or any type of device to regenerate the signal. Otherwise, if suppose the distance between the 2 points is 200 meter, and if we use this coaxial cable, thin coaxial cable for sending the data, then obviously if one station sends the data, then it will not reach beyond 185 meter and the other signal will not receive the data. Okay, so you have to remember one thing, if you are using a thin net coaxial cable, then obviously the data from that cable cannot travel a distance of more than 185 meters. Okay, so you have to think about over it, and at each 185 meter distance you have to put a booster for regenerating the signal. Okay, but if you are using a thick net coaxial cable, then obviously, as you see, that thick net coaxial cable covers a distance of 500 meter. So you have, if you want to fix any repeater or any regenerator device, then you have to fix after a distance of 500 meter. Okay, so these are the two basic type of coaxial cables. Okay, now the third one is basically the fiber optic cable. So what kind of cable is this fiber optic cable? This cable consists of a thin strand of glass or a glass like material, okay, which are so constructed that they carry light from one source, from one end, to the detector at the other end. Okay, so what is the basic property of this fiber optic cable? In this cable, it consists of a glass like material. Okay, the inner core is basically a glass like material, and we send data in this cable in the form of light signal. Okay, you can see that this is the core, this is a glass type material, and the data is basically sent through these core. Okay, and this is covered by this cladding, then coating is there. So this inner one is basically, this core is basically a glass type material, right? This inner core is basically a glass type material, and the data travel in this glass type material in the form of light. Okay, so why it is in this cable it is done to send the data in the form of light? You know that what is the speed of light? The speed of light is basically 3 into 10 to power 8, okay, meter per second. Okay, so all of you know that what is the speed of light? Speed of light is 3 into 10 to power 8 meter per second. So it means that it can send a data at a distance of 3 into 10 to power 8 meter in a single second. Okay, so you can see that the data can travel a long distance just within a seconds. Okay, as we have seen in the coaxial cable, there is a thin net cable which covers the distance of just 185 meter. Thick net cable covers the distance of 500 meter. But you can see that if we are using the optical fiber cable, so we are converting the data in the form of light. So the light travels in the speed of 3 into 10 to power 8 meter per second. So you can see that how fast the data travel from one point to the another point. Okay, so just because this is a very high speed cable, so we use this kind of cables where the speed of the data transmission is very crucial to us. So the light sources used are either LED, light emitting diode, or laser diodes we use in this case. Okay, so the data to be transmitted, right, whatever the data we have to transmit, the data to be transmitted is first modulated, okay, into a light beam. So in our computer, the data is basically present in the digital signal form. Okay, so first this digital signal data is modulated into the form of light beam. Okay, and with using frequency modulation technique. So there is a technique named as frequency modulation, and with the help of that frequency modulation technique, the data which is present in the computer is converted into the light beam, right? And then the data is sent through this optical fiber cable, and when this light signal is received at the receiver end, then what will happen? These light signals are demodulated. Demodulated means the light beam again converted into the form of digital signal, right? So modulation means the digital data which is present in the computer is converted into the light form, and then the data travels through this optical fiber cable, and at the destination point, when it receives the data, then it converts the data into the digital signal form. Okay, So what are the advantage and disadvantages of this cable? So first is basically it is immune to electrical and magnetic interference. Okay, as you know that when we have learned about this twisted pair cable, and we came to know that the wires in the twisted pair cable are twisted with each other. And why it is they are twisted to each other? The first is that to reduce the crosstalk, and the second is that to reduce the external interference. And what are those external interference? They are electrical and magnetic interference, right? So but in optical fiber cable there is no need for putting any parameters for restricting the electric and magnetic interference. Why? Simple. The data in optical fiber cable moves in the form of light, right? So light has no problem with the electric and magnetic interference, right? So that's why it is called as it is immune to electric and magnetic interference, because the data in the optical fiber cable moves in the form of light. Second thing, it guarantees secure transmission and a very high speed transmission. Okay, as I already told you, the data travels in the form of light, and the speed of light is 3 into 10 to power 8 meter per second. So obviously you can imagine that the data travel in this cable through a very high speed, and as well as the data is also very secure. Okay, so if someone asks you that he wants to implement a network in his company, and he wants the network should be a very high speed network and a very secure one, so obviously which kind of cable you suggest him? You will suggest him only optical fiber cable, because optical fiber cable will give you a very high speed transmission, okay, and as well as a secure transmission. All right, and it can be used for broadband transmission, where several channels can be handled in parallel. Okay, so obviously it can be used for the broadband transmission also. All right, now what are the disadvantages of this optical fiber cable? All right, so first thing is that it is basically very difficult to install. As I told you that the optical fiber cable, the inner part of the optical fiber cable is consist of a glass type material. Okay, so if we twist the cable or bend the cable, then the glass type material will broke inside the cable. So obviously we have to set the network through this cable very carefully, okay, because a little mistake from our side will break the cable from inside, and that make the cable unusable, right? So it is difficult to maintain as well as the install, and also as it is providing a very high speed, as well it is providing a very high security. So that's why it is also expensive, right? So it is a very expensive cable, and connecting two fibers together or even connecting the light source with the cable is a difficult process. Hence connection loss is a common problem. So obviously to establish the connection between the two systems using the fiber optic cable is a difficult task, right? And also connecting the light source with the cable is also very difficult. So that's why sometimes the connection loss problem is there, but as I told you that it is a very less problem. So as it gives me a very high speed transmission capacity, so that's why most of the places where they want a high speed communication, then they will use the optical fiber cable. All right, so types of optical fiber cable. The fiber optic cable are of two types. First one is a single node cable, fiber optic cable. Okay, so single node fiber optic cable means it supports a segment up to 2 kilometers and a bandwidth of 100 Mbps, right? So what is the basic benefit of it? It will send a data up to 2 kilometers and it supports a bandwidth of 100 Mbps. What does mean by the bandwidth? Bandwidth means the number of frequencies that can be used in this channel for transmitting the data. Okay, higher the bandwidth, higher amount of data can be transmitted. Lower the bandwidth, lower the amount of data can be transmitted, right? So the transmission speed of this single node fiber optic cable is 100 Mbps. Okay, and you know that 100 Mbps is quite a very high speed. It's quite a very large amount of data can be transmitted. Okay, and then one is basically the multi-node fiber optic cable, and it has a length of 100 kilometer, and you can see that it has a bandwidth of 2 Gbps, 2 gigabits per second, right? So these are the two types of fiber optic cable. The first one is a single node, which can transmit data up to 2 kilometers, and the bandwidth of data is 100 Mbps. And the multi-node fiber optic cable can send data up to 100 kilometers, and the bandwidth for it is 2 Gbps. Okay, so these are some basic points that you have to learn about these kind of cables. Okay, so I am just giving you a small comparison chart of all these kind of cables. Over here you can see that all the three cables are there. The first one is the twisted pair cable, then the coaxial cable, and third one is the optical fiber cable. So what is the data transfer rate? Okay, the data transfer rate in twisted pair cable is 10 Mbps to 10 Gbps, right? In coaxial cable it can be 100 Mbps, but in optical fiber it can be more than 100 Gbps. Okay, now data transfer range 100 meter. Okay, it means if we use a twisted pair cable, then the data from one point to another point can travel up to a distance of 100 meter only. And but if we talk about the coaxial cable, then it is 185 meter to 500 meter. And in optical fiber cable, as I have given already I have already told you that there are single node that can travel data up to 2 kilometers, and there is multi node which can send data up to 100 kilometers. Interference susceptibility. Obviously, the twisted pair cable is more affected by the electromagnetic interference. Okay, so that's why we perform the twisting work. Coaxial cable is less than the Ethernet cable. Yes, it is affected by the electromagnetic interference, but it is less affected by the twisted pair because there is lot of covering over in the coaxial cable. Okay, but as you know that there is no electromagnetic interference problem in case of optical fiber cable, right? Cost. This is least cost. The coaxial cable is quietly costlier than the twisted pair cable, but when we talk about the optical fiber cable is a very, very expensive one. Okay, so these are the basic core points of difference between all these kind of cables. Okay, so that's all for today's lecture. Thank you very much and have a nice day.